Elon Musk has buyer's remorse, and he is posting through it on a series of tweets on his own social media platform, X. He went ham on Republicans and Trump when it comes to Donald Trump's big, ugly disaster of a bill. And he's not the only one doing it. Tom Tillis went rogue and is actually not even running for office because he's so pissed off about this bill. He decided it's better for him to not run than it is to support a bill that he thinks is going to hurt millions of Americans. I also talked to Alyssa Slotkin, who gave me a secret about why Republicans actually might be for this thing. You're going to be shocked by it. And I also talked to Cory Booker about this ugly, ugly budget, all coming right up. First, let's get into Tom Tillis, because I thought this was shocking. Imagine a Republican talking badly about the president's own agenda. Imagine if this were a Democrat, but Tom Tillis did just that. Good for him. He finally found a conscience. Many Republicans eventually do, and then they walk away. They should maybe fight for their seat. But regardless, here's a little bit of what Tom Tillis had to say.
That between the state-directed payments and the cuts scheduled in this bill, there's a reduction of state-directed payments. And then there's the reduction of the provider tax. They can't find a hole in my estimate. So what they told me is that, yeah, it's rough, but North Carolina's used the system. They're going to have to make it work. All right. So what do I tell 663,000 people in 2 years or 3 years when President Trump breaks his promise by pushing them off of Medicaid, advising the president, are not telling him that the effect of this bill is to break a promise?
Donald Trump knows that this bill is going to hurt millions and millions of people. He just frankly doesn't care. He just wants his billionaire buddies to get a little bit more money. That's all he cares about. And Alyssa Slotkin, who I spoke with, actually alleged that this is the reason why Republicans are voting for this bill.
All right, has been said before, but I think needs to be said. A budget is a moral document.
Yeah.
What does this document say about the Republicans' morals?
It says, number one, they can be bullied into voting for anything because they haven't seen the full text. None of us have, and we're voting literally
Wait, is
right
that true?
Yes.
How is that possible?
Because Trump gave them a deadline, and they're saying, yes, sir, may I have another?
That's insane.
And so we have not seen the full text, and we're voting. So obviously they don't care. They just want to do what he wants to do.
And then Alyssa Slotkin said these are the two other reasons why Republicans are voting for this bill.
Number two, it says that despite what they say out of their mouths, which is that they want to lower costs for average Americans, this is going to raise the amount of money you spend in like every category. And then the one that I think is truly like a moral question on the table for Americans right now is the issue of healthcare. Mm-hmm. Like, we're not happy as a nation on how healthcare is working. Like, that's clear. And he's about to kick potentially 17 million people off of health insurance. And that'll mean everyone else's prices go way up. So it's a moral document. It's a statement of your principles. And for them, their principles are, we got to do what Trump says, even if it's dumb. And we care more about answering his call than the call of our constituents.
Yeah, so it's true. Republicans have not read this thing. They don't know what's in it, and yet they're voting for it because Donald Trump said do it. They're doing it because daddy told them to use their own word against them. So it's actually shocking that they are doing this. Maybe not surprising, but still shocking to know that senators and members of Congress have just given up their check on this president instead just to become subservient to him. And shout out to Tom Tillis for speaking up, and I'm so proud of Democrats for at least fighting back in the ways that they can. I also spoke to Senator Cory Booker, and here is what Senator Cory Booker said about the actual hypocrisy behind what Republicans say they believe versus what's actually in this thing. Tom Tillis is pointing it out, so is Senator Cory Booker. Here that is.
There's a lot of philosophies on the right that if there was integrity in those philosophies, they would reject this bill and call it what it is, a moral obscenity. Because if you're a fiscal hawk, this will be the most expensive bill we have had in my lifetime in the United States Senate, running up trillions of dollars to our deficit, fiscally irresponsible. If you say that I am a Christian evangelical, well, I'm sorry, Jesus would not cut food for the hungry, cut healthcare for the sick, cut services for the disabled. That's not what would Jesus do. if you are somebody that says, I'm fighting for the working person, well, this bill is going to drive up people's energy costs, drive up their healthcare premiums, drive up their cost of living. I don't see any philosophy on the right, political philosophy on the right, besides the craven one that says government is bad and we, out of our collective resources, should not be investing in taking care of each other. But besides that, just wanting to tear down government, it is a painful lack of integrity to say that in any way this advances the goals of folks on the right, whatever their philosophies are.
And of course, Elon Musk is also well aware of this hypocrisy because he has said multiple times, he is tweeting his feelings because Elon Musk spent $250 million. He spent $250 million to get Donald Trump elected. And it is so funny that he is probably going to be one of the people who loses money from this thing because of the way that the bill has been written so that electric vehicles and other renewable energy sources are no longer going to get money or subsidies from the government, which I think is abysmal because we should be investing in new types of energy. That aside, Elon Musk is actually going to get hurt from this thing. I think that's probably one of the reasons why he's pissed off, and he has posted multiple times. He said here, if this insane spending bill passes, the American Party will be formed the next day. Our country needs an alternative to the Democrat-Republican uniparty so that people actually have a voice. I think there's a lot of people that would agree that an independent party is maybe needed. Elon Musk also said every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending and then immediately voted for the biggest debt increase in history should hang their head in shame. And they will lose their primary next year if it is the last thing I do on this earth. Wow. He also said, how can you call yourself the Freedom Caucus if you vote for a debt slavery bill with the biggest debt ceiling increase in history? He also said, it is obvious that the insane spending of this bill, which increases the debt ceiling by a record $5 trillion, that we live in a one-party country, the Porky Pig Party. Time for a new political party that actually cares about the people. I don't think a billionaire can create a party that cares about the people, but I do think he can create a party that will siphon away Republican and conservative votes, which I'm all for. I'm all for that. So please, Elon Musk, go ahead and do your worst. But this is a disaster for the Republicans. The Democratic senators I spoke to obviously warned us that this is also going to just hurt a lot of people at the end of the day. And that's awful. 17 million Americans are going to be off of their insurance. There will be a copay because of this bill. Medicare will get a $35 copay because of this bill. So there are a lot of ramifications, and it might look entertaining from the outside, but this is actually going to have a lot of real world consequences that are very upsetting and it's going to make people's lives a lot harder. And the one thing Donald Trump was elected to do was to make things cost less, and he's actually doing the complete opposite. It's awful. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like on the video. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.